sitting across from federal agents in a cold interrogation room. Chris Watts finally spoke. Not the version he told his neighbors on the front lawn. Not the version he cried about on camera. The real version. What came out of that room was a confession so disturbing, so cold, so calculated, that even the agents sitting across from him were left shaken. Every detail, every decision, every desperate thought running through his mind as he did the unthinkable to the people who trusted him most. This is what Chris Watts told federal agents. And once you hear it, you will never forget it.
You are listening to Criminal Cases Journal. Real stories from the darkest corners of criminal history. Some names have been changed, and some tapes were never meant to be heard.
I'm trying to make sure that I'm giving you all the opportunities to be comfortable enough to tell me exactly. Okay.
They were like,
Okay.
trust me, I hear that every day when Bella was talking to me on the site.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
When she said, Daddy, no. When we were driving to the site, she said, Daddy, it smells.
Oh. Okay. So that goes back to maybe Shanann evacuating herself.
I don't know if it was that. They know that smell like a skunk maybe sometimes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I got some kind of smell that way, but I don't know what that was from.
And was that maybe outside the truck or is that in?
I don't know.
Okay. What did you guys talk about on the way out?
They were pretty quiet. They, laid next to each other.
Okay.
Maybe Bella in her lap and Cece in her lap, just back and forth.
Oh, okay. Just trading off like little ones do. Okay. Were they awake?
I think one would kind of fall asleep, the other one, Cece would really kind of trade off back and forth.
Were they talking to you?
Just about, just saying, Daddy, it smells.
Oh, okay.
It was early in the morning, they were showing up there early.
Yeah.
Did you have to? So you didn't have to wake Cece up?
There was the noise from trying to get Shanann downstairs.
Did she kind of fall down the stairs?
It was more like trying to get her down and from the steps, maybe her foot, the next step kind of thing.
Oh,
They're licensed.
So then, once you get to the site, tell me what happens.
So I get to that one site and I get Shanann out to that. Just go over to the part right off the site there.
Okay.
And the girls are still in the truck.
did they ask you what you were doing, taking mommy out, or?
Yeah, I don't remember what I told them, but they did ask that.
What they say specifically?
It was more of like, what are you doing, Mom?
Okay. And then is that when you buried her?
I don't remember if I dug a hole there first but they didn't watch me do that.
Oh. So then pulled Shanann out. She's maybe just sitting there on top of the ground?
Yeah, like off to the side.
Off the side, close to where she ended up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then the girls, right? Okay. You mentioned Bella was first. Cece was first, okay. Where exactly was she when it happened?
In the back seat.
Okay. Was she just right next to Bella?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So once again, was it a hand over her face? Was it?
It was a blanket over my hand.
And then your hand. Okay. And then, so that just stopped her from breathing type thing? Okay. Did she struggle at all?
I don't think so, but I was blocking her face and my hand was right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had one hand here and one hand over her mouth?
And we're just pushing her against the back of the seat type thing? Okay. What was Bella doing?
Sitting there next to her, she didn't know what was going on.
Okay. Could she see you? Okay. And then, did that take a minute or two?
Really, nothing. I didn't have no like concept at the time at this
Okay.
point.
Tell me about what you were thinking.
I was thinking and sort of had
Yeah.
any partial hint of what I feel for those girls and what I feel for my wife, but none of this would have happened. So I wasn't thinking.
Okay. So she's in the back seat. Okay. And then once she's gone, then is it Bella next, or did you pull Cece out?
I pulled this out.
Okay, so once Cece's gone, Bella's still there in the car alive, and then you pulled Cece out. What'd you do with her? Okay. So she went into the tank, and Bella was still in the back of the truck alive. With regard to that tank, did you bring up Cece, put her down, open the hatch?
Brought her up, opened the hatch.
And put her in. Okay. When we talked the very first time we met, when we were talking about this, it was a matter of just lowering her down. Okay. And so she went in feet first. Okay. Was she able to fit pretty well? Was it snug?
I think so.
Okay. Did you have to like move her around a little bit and get her in there?
I think so.
Okay. All right.
But no, I didn't have to like hit her like
Okay.
like that.
It's not like you stomped her in.
No.
Okay. And then close the hatch.
Yes.
Okay. And then went down to Bella. Tell me what happened there.
She said what happened to Cece. Or she asked, is the same thing, the exact same thing that happened to me as Cece.
Did she ask you that? Okay. So Bella's pretty smart. How did she sound when she asked you that, Chris?
So that soft voice she always had.
What exactly did she say?
Said that it's the same thing that happened to me as Cece. And then I said, I don't even remember what I said.
Okay.
I don't know if I just said yes like a horrible person, or if I just put that blanket over her too and did the same thing.
Same blanket, same way?
Mhm.
Okay.
She said no, Daddy. And that's the last thing she said.
Did she say no, Daddy, like, please, no, Daddy type thing? Did she say, okay, don't do it?
She said no, Daddy.
Okay. Same way, hand on neck, hand over mouth, or hand over blanket with the over mouth? Okay. Did that take a couple minutes?
I like it.
Okay. Then what?
I just noticed she had a couple spots like over her eye or something. And I picked her up. Same thing.
And we talked a little bit earlier today about it. You don't remember why a different tank? Okay. And there was no reason.
I mean, they're both the same tanks. I mean, they're just like, I don't know why I did that.
There's one, I never got up there. Does one catwalk lead to both?
Oil can go into either tank.
Okay. But if you go up one set of ladders, does that eventually
Yeah,
indicate you?
it's one catwalk.
Okay. Now, Bella was a little bit bigger. Was she harder to get in?
It felt like a little bit.
Okay. And so was it a matter of just kind of maneuvering her? All right. So then they're both in there. Is there any reason to think they were alive when they fell in? Okay. You're pretty sure. Okay. So once that's done, then what?
Go over to Shanann. Clear away some weeds and dig a hole.
Okay. Did you have a shovel?
Yeah, we have a shovel, a rake, and a weed whacker as part of our tools.
With that rake, if I remember right, it was
Part of it sitting there because it was broken.
Oh, did it break as you were digging or something?
Not when I was rake without like smoothing the ground over.
On this day, it broke when you were doing that. Okay. Was that after you were all done? And it seemed as though maybe the first people that got there saw it was stuck in the ground.
I guess it was like not like standing up, but it was like laying down.
Oh, okay. Were you planning on coming back?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so.
At this point, then, this is just before then, in a couple of hours, you would make it back home to see Officer Grahm. Okay. And so once she's buried, then
That's when people start showing up, I believe.
did you notice, was she cut or broken or bleeding in any way?
No, I mean, I know, like, the bloodshot eyes you were talking about, I noticed that at that point.
Okay.
Other than that, no.
Had she partially given birth?
No.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. Remember, she had a shirt and think we wanted to wear on.
Okay. That's it. And so at that point, she was okay. Thank you. I know that wasn't.
Can you tell us about, obviously, you know, when the district attorney got up and talked about Bella's injuries and stuff,
I didn't want to hear about that.
right? Can you tell us about that?
As far as, like, her biting her tongue,
And ripping her frenulum, which is that connective skin from your lip to your gum, it was gone. Her gums had it looked like a hole in them. And the pathologist said it was from her obviously struggling to get away.
I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
Could it be that that's what happened?
So, like, I didn't put my hand, like, over her, like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it would have been just downward pressure on her. This area.
I didn't see any of that when I picked back up. Like, it was like her lip was, like, missing or something? Or?
No, see this skin that
Uh-huh.
connects her? That was ripped. Like, it was gone. So it kind of made like a
I mean,
hole in her gum.
I'm just thinking maybe it's like, if her hand was not her head was like twisting back and forth, could that have done that?
Yeah.
I had a blanket. I don't know, like,
Did you feel her doing that thrashing? They were trying to get away.
I felt her head moving back and forth.
You did.
But I didn't know that.
Could you tell if she was trying to yell or say anything? Or
The only thing was Daddy no, and then like some grunt here and there, trying to breathe.
mm-hmm.
During that time, do you remember getting phone calls from Cole Atkinson?
After I think before she got to my house, or after.
Just any time during that morning?
I think I didn't get one until I saw her on my doorbell camera.
That was, what, 10 o'clock?
Yeah, right around.
Okay. And so at that time, had everything been done out at Cervi 319?
Yeah, I was at a different site at a pumping unit.
Okay. So you went from there when it was all done. So girls are in the oil, Shanann's in the ground, and maybe a little bit of cleanup. Was there any questions we had about the sheets or any garbage cans or garbage sacks?
No, I think I answered those already.
So then you went from that site to another site to work?
Yeah, because at that Cervi 319, there was a little spill. That's where most everybody showed up there, because that spill that we were trying to figure out what happened.
Oh,
While you're on that subject, we back up. The night before, you had some text messaging about going out there. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that was, I think, Friday that we had figured out there was a spill out there from, like, it's an old site. It's set up a little different. So what had happened was there was a downcomer, and then there's a side comer going into the oil tanks, and one of the downcomers is tied into a back pressure line that split. And every time it was dumping oil, it was split underground, and the oil was coming up out of the ground. And we decided just to go out there on Monday, because it was Friday, and he had like switched it out, or either he shut it in or switched lines, or he covered it up and see if it was going to come back or not.
Okay. And then it's more specifically, you text about how you would go out there and take
Yeah, I
care
was
of
going to
it.
take care of it for him, because I've gone out there plenty of times.
Okay.
But I used, when another guy was out there, as far as another foreman, he showed me around out there like a year or so ago, and I just got familiar with the place, and I just oiled them out.
Okay.
And so that was a genuine,
Yeah,
that wasn't a pre-alibi. That was,
There was a lot of people that said that you wouldn't normally do that.
I normally help somebody.
No, like a field, your position, not you specifically, but your position doesn't do that kind of stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Like when I was a rover and to a field coordinator, I still tried to do everything I used to do.
Okay.
That's still like I wasn't good at delegating stuff. I just used to just doing stuff on my own, or just like taking care of it for somebody else.
Right.
I wasn't good at the whole like, hey, you go do this, you go do that, while I sit over here.
Well, you see what it looks like to us.
I know.
You know,
It's like,
when they came out, we're like
Uh.
making plans to be out there, that day.
but that's not what it was. That was
I was
natural.
no. I was gonna help them.
So how long were you there? What time do you think you were done with the girls?
Hard to really tell. I mean, I think everybody started showing up there by around 7:45, 8 o'clock.
Okay.